Hi dear students, I am Dr. Mashur. Welcome to my research methodology class. Today I would like to discuss preparation of work plans and identification of suitable methodology for research. So first we can see preparation of work plans. So first we can see the work plan. Okay, your work plan is a schedule or chart or graph that summarizes the different components of a research project. Okay, a work plan is a schedule or chart or graph that summarizes the different components of a research project. And typically, this work plan is used to organize large research project, but you can also use this work plan for small project also. But typically, normally this work plan is used to organize large research project, and this any structured work plan that give teams project framework and the background, and it also helps to visualize the goals and timeline to define for the overall project. Okay, this work plan will give to teams idea about project framework, about the background, and it also helps to visualize the goals of the project and timeline defined for the overall project. Okay, this work plan will give teams about the project framework, background, and also helps to visualize the goals of the project and timeline that's defined for overall project. Okay, and a work plan that will break down all tasks. Okay, a work plan. Okay, if you are doing a big project or a big project, that means lot of work will be there. Okay, if you are doing without any work plan, that project will be fail. Okay, in this work plan you will break down the task of these projects, and you will assign to specific project members. Okay, if this large project, you will break down the task of these projects, and you will assign to specific project groups or project members. Okay, there will be number of such fellows and such assistants or such associate will be present in a large projects. So if everyone doing same work at a time, that will make problem when you are submitting the research report, because you cannot able to complete all objective. Okay, you cannot able to complete all objective that's why you have to break down the overall task. Okay, you have to break the overall task of the project, and you have to assign to a different groups, and you have to define a timeline for them to complete their work. Okay, this is a work plan that will break down all tasks and assign to a specific project members, and you will provide them with individual timeline. You will give a timeline to each project members or project group to complete that task. And next point, a work plan can be represented as the formal roadmap for a project or a structure. Okay, a work plan can be represented as a formal roadmap for a project. Okay, work plan is a formal roadmap. We can represent this work plan as a formal roadmap for a research project. And a work plan should contain time frame and activity schedule. Okay, if you are preparing a work plan, that should contain a time frame that you have to finish within this time frame. Like that you have to define in your work plan, and you have to assign a work plan for each activity. Okay, that means work plan should contain the time frame and activity schedule for the proposed research. Okay, now we can see what are the major steps for creating a work plan in a research project. Okay, what are the major steps for creating a work plan in a research project? Okay, these are the major steps. Okay, this step will be Okay, some other step will be also is that for creating work plan, and this steps, well, that will be different from different projects. Okay, differ from different projects, and these are the major steps for creating a work plan. First one is a there should be a schedule for planning research. Okay, you have should give a time schedule for planning research, and you should give a schedule for literature search. Okay, literature search, you have to give a schedule for literature search, and there should be a schedule for development of questionnaire or methodology. Okay, questionnaire or methodology. Okay, you have to develop, if you are doing a survey, you have to develop a questionnaire for that survey, or if you are doing a experiment or in any research, any work, you have to develop a methodology. Okay, the third one, that you have to make a schedule. Within that time schedule, you have to develop that development of questionnaire and methodology. And the fourth one is the data collection. Okay, you have to develop a schedule or timeline for the data collection, and after that you have to go for data entry and analysis. Okay, entry and analysis, you have to go for this work plan, and after that you have to go after the finally you have to have the step of report writing and presentation. Okay, this will be the report writing and presentation will be the final steps of the that should be the final step of the work plan. These are the major steps for creating a work plan. One is planning of research. Second one is literature search, and third one is development of questionnaire or methodology, and fourth one is data collection, and fifth one data entry and analysis, and sixth one is report writing and presentation. This first one planning of research, that means you have to make a research planning, and second one is a literature search. You have to search the literature that is related to this topic, and I have to make a questionnaire for the survey of this your research, and you have to develop a methodology, and for the doing experiment in lab, and fourth one you have to do the data collection. Data collection may be by doing survey. Okay, you are doing survey for data collection, and you have to make it collect data by doing experiment in laboratory. And the fifth one, after doing experiment and survey, you will get data, and you have to enter the data, and you have to analyze. Okay, you have to analyze the data, and after this analysis, you will get result, and from that you have to report the your research finding, and you have to go for the presentation. These are the major steps that's for creating a work plan, and an activity schedule can be prepared for presenting work plan for effective research. Okay, an activity schedule can be prepared for presenting work plan for effective research. Okay, for activity an activity schedule can be prepared for presenting a work plan. Okay, for presenting work plan, you it is better to make a activity schedule. Okay, a Gantt chart is the most effective way of plotting the activity of schedule. Okay, Gantt chart is the uh, internationally accepted mode of activity schedule plotting methodology. That is an active Gantt chart is most effective way to plotting the activity schedule, in that each step will be presented in a time frame. Okay, these are the steps that's for creating a work plan. Okay, now if you are doing a work of making a work plan, an activity schedule can be prepared for the presenting a work plan for an effective research. Okay, if you are preparing a work plan, you make an activity schedule. Okay, make an activity schedule for if you are preparing a research, if you are presenting a work plan. Okay, a Gantt chart is the most effective way of plotting activity schedule. Okay, Gantt chart is one of the most effective way of plotting the activity schedule, in that each step will be presented in time frame. Okay, each step will be present in time frame. Okay, Gantt chart is the most effective way of plotting activity schedule, and in that each step of this research will be presented in a time frame. Now we can see what is the Gantt chart. in Gantt chart, it is the most effective way of plotting the activity schedule, and that is will be present in time frame. First, you can say here you have to give and you have to define the activities, project activities, and first you can see the plan research, second one literature research, and third one is questionnaire methodology and data collection and data entry analysis and report writing and presentation. Okay, for that, for planning research you have to take 1 month. Okay, you have to complete within January, and literature research you have to finish with 1 month, that means February you have to finish it, and development of questionnaire or methodology you can take 2 months, that means February and March. Okay, when starting only this literature search, then only you get some idea. From that time onwards you can start the development of methodology or questionnaire. Okay, after completing searching of this literature only you can will get a total idea about this development of questionnaire. And after that, after development of questionnaire or methodology, you have to go for data collection. Data collection means doing survey or lab experiment. Okay, a data collection you give April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay, up to September you have given the time for. Within the September you have to finish the data collection, and after getting data collection, you have to go for data entry and analysis. Okay, data entries and analysis started in September, October, November. Okay, it started in September and October, November. Within November you have to finish. Why it started September only? Why is by September only this data collection is over? Okay, when you are starting the collection, you will get some data. That's why it started in September and October. By November you have to finish it, and after that, by November and December you have to finish your research work by doing report writing and presentation. This is a Gantt chart. Okay, Gantt chart that will present the work plan of your research, and in this Gantt chart that will each step will be presented in a time frame. This is about preparation of work plan. Next, we can see the identification of suitable methodology for research. Okay, the selection of appropriate methodology for research is one of the most difficult and confusing step in research. Okay, the selection of appropriate methodology for research is one of the most difficult and confusing step in research. Okay, if your methodology is correct, then you won't get a good result. That's why it's the most difficult and confusing step in research, and that's a critical step in a research. And choosing the correct research methodology can be determine the success and overall quality of your report. Okay, if you have to choose the correct research methodology, then otherwise it will make your research fail. Okay, the correct research methodology can determine the success and overall quality of your report, and the type of research that will decide the selection of right methodology for the research and data collection. Okay, the type of research. Okay, if you are doing any different types of research, that time your methodology will be different. Okay, that's why the type of research will decide. If you are doing any research, and there will be some type of research you are doing, and the type of research that will decide the selection of right methodology for the research and data collection. Okay, and the method used for the study should be adequate to provide information to achieve the overall goal of the study. Okay, if you are selecting a methodology, that should provide adequate information to achieve the overall goal of the study. Okay, if you have an objective, if you have that objective or goal, that should be balanced with your methodology. Okay, that means if your methodology should provide information to conclude that goal or objective. Okay, and there are three main type of methods were used to conduct research. Okay, there are three methods were used to conduct research. One is a quantitative research methods, and second one is a qualitative research methods, and the other one is a mixed research methods. Okay, these are the three methods that are used for to conduct research. Okay, there's the selection of you can see again that this selection of appropriate research methodology is one of the difficult and confusing step in research, and the choosing correct research methodology that will determine the success and the overall quality of your research. Okay, choosing the correct research methodology that will determine the success and overall quality of your report of research, and the type of research will decide the selection of right methodology for the research and data collection. Okay, the type of research that will decide what methodology how to opt for that your research, and method. Okay, method used for the study that should be adequate to provide information to achieve the overall goal of the study. Okay, the method that the method used for the study that should be adequate to provide information to achieve the overall goal of the study. And there will be three main methods used to conduct research. One is qualitative method, another one is a qualitative method, and third one is a mixed research method. So we can see each method separately in detail. So first we can see the qualitative research methods. These qualitative research methods were adapted to address the question that cannot be answered through quantification. Okay? These qualitative research methods were adapted to address the question that cannot be answered through quantification. Okay? These qualitative research methods were adopted when the questions cannot be answered through the quantification. And this method is used to understand thoughts, concepts, or experiences of people. Okay, this method is used to understand the thoughts, concepts, or experiences of people by interviews, focus groups, case studies, and literature. Okay, this method is commonly used to understand thoughts, concepts, or experience of a people via interviews, focus groups, case studies, and literature. Okay, and it is a basically survey done to gather people thoughts and experience. Basically, this qualitative research method is a survey done to gather people thoughts and experiences, and qualitative method can generate very rich and deep data. Okay, this qualitative research method can help to generate very rich and deep data. This, this qualitative research method were adapted to address the question that cannot be discussed, cannot be answered through quantification. And this method is used to understand thoughts, concepts, or experience of people via interviews, focus groups, case studies, and literature reviews. And it is basically a survey done to gather people, thoughts, and experiences. Against quantitative research methodology is basically a survey that's gather people, thoughts, and experiences. Okay, it is basically a survey done to gather people, thoughts, and experiences. And this qualitative method can generate very rich and deep data. Okay, this qualitative research methods can help to generate very rich and deep data. Now we can see the technique that is used in the qualitative research methods. The first one is the interview. This method involves asking open-ended questions verbally to the respondent. Okay, the researcher will ask questions to the respondent to get answer. Second one is the focus group. Focus group will gather opinion by having a group of people on a special topic. Okay, special subject. Okay, we'll gather information, opinion from a groups on a special topics. If you have, get some group or a group of people, and you can ask some questions about your topic, and you can gather opinion of them, and you can and the next method technique is a case study. Case study is an in-depth study of an event. Okay, is an in-depth study of an event or organization or a person or a group. Okay, you can take a person as a case. Okay, if you are working any psychological issue of students. Okay, psychological issue of student, that time you can take each student as a case. Okay, that means sometime you can study the financial problem that's faced by different organization, so you can take each organization as a case, and you can take information from them. This is a case study. And the fourth one is a literature review. Literature review means before you there will be some researchers has done so many research in your same field. That time you will get some idea from their literature, their publication. Okay, this is the literature review. That means a survey of published works by other authors. This is the literature review. Okay, you can search, you can go for a survey to find out the data or works that were published by other authors. These are the techniques used for qualitative research method. One is interview. Interview, you know that I will ask open-ended question whereby to the respondent, they will give the response, there will be the answer. And second one, the focus group. You will gather information for the specific group about a topic and sometime, and then another technique is a case study, is an in-depth study of an event, organization, person, or a group. And fourth one is a literature review. And other is a survey, or literature review is a survey of published work by other authors. Okay, these are these are the techniques used for the qualitative research methods, and some other techniques will also use. Okay. Next, we can see the quantitative research methods. Okay, quantitative research methods. We can see in this research method, the data collector is generally expressed in numbers and graphs to confirm the theories and assumptions. Okay, in quantitative research methods. Okay, in quantitative research methods, we'll generally express the data in numbers or graphs. Okay, in quantitative research method, the data collector in research, that is expressed in numbers or graphs. Okay, and the data collector, okay, the data collector are factual information on the topic. Okay, this is a data collector in this quantitative research method is a factual information on the topic. And if you are doing quantitative research methods, and if you are using the quantitative research method, you can include following information. Okay, if you are using the quantitative research method, you can include the following information in your report. One is how the data was prepared. Okay, how the data was prepared, you can add in your report, and you can add which software used to analyze the data. Okay, which software you use to analyze the data. Okay, and which statistical method that you use for analyze the data. Okay, and there are different ways used to collect the factual information. Okay, there are different methods the is used. Okay, different ways. There are different ways used to collect the factual information. The quantitative research method. In this research method, the data collector is generally expressed in numbers and graphs to confirm the theories and assumptions. Here you use the data. Here you will present the data as numbers or graphs, and the data is collected in this quantitative research will be the factual information on the topic. And if you are preparing the report of quantitative research methods report, and that time you can include the following information: how you prepare the data, okay, how you prepare the data, and which software you use to analyze the data, and which statistical method you use to analyze the data, okay. And there will be different ways used to collect the factual information. That means there is a different ways or technique that you use to collect the quantitative research methods. Now we can see what are the different methods or ways that we use to collect the factual information, or that we use to get used for the quantitative research methods. First, these are the factual information can be collected in the many ways, such as like surveys. You can use surveys. You can use surveys. We already told you can construct list of questions in the form of multiple choice or writer asking either person or phone or online. Okay, you can ask person in person or phone or online. You can make like get result as a numbers, okay, and multiple choice or writing, okay, multiple choice or writing you can ask question. And second one is the experiment. In experiment, in this method you perform a test in a controlled environment and obtain data from it, okay. For example, if you can do a group, or take a group of people and you can go for glucose analysis, okay, glucose estimation. So you will get data. There will be a number, okay, there will be a number, and you will get information from existing data, okay. Here you have to gather data from the existing source, such as publication or accurate data for inclusion in your analysis, okay. Sometimes if you are doing the quantitative research, you have to compare your research with others. That time you have to get existing data or already defined data. So that you have to find it from the literature, okay. These are the one of the way you have to get data from the existing data. And the other one is the observation. Observation is in this involved observing people in the natural environment, okay. You observe, okay, you observe the people in the natural environment. That time you will get data. And there is a content analysis. Another method is technique is a ways in the content analysis. This refers to systematically recording the presence of certain words or set of text to analyze the communication pattern. The systematic recording the presence of certain words or set of text to analyze communication pattern. Okay, to analyze the communication pattern, you will record the presence of certain words or set of text. Okay, in this content analysis, you will analyze the communication pattern by recording the presence of certain words or set of text. Okay, these are the ways that is used in the quantitative research methods. One is surveys, and one is second experiment, and third one is existing data, and fourth one is observation, and fifth one is content analysis. And the next one is a mixed research methods. Mixed research methods. It is a multi-method research in which quantitative and qualitative research methods were used. Okay, in mixed research methods, there will be used qualitative and quantitative research methods. Okay, and this will allow the researcher to answer quantitative and qualitative questions simultaneously. Okay, this this mixed research method will allow the researcher to answer both qualitative and quantitative questions simultaneously, and this method will provide strong evidence for conclusion of the study. Okay, because this study is using both qualitative and quantitative research methods. That's why this method can able to provide strong evidence for conclusion of the study, and it can also help to answer broad range of research questions. Okay, this can also helps to answer broad range of research questions because it's using both qualitative and quantitative. And compared to other model, it might be difficult to perform because, okay, compared to qualitative research methods and quantitative research method. This mixed research method is difficult to perform because it contains both research methods because qualitative and quantitative. And this method is time consuming process and is a more expensive. Okay, mixed research methods is a more time consuming and more expensive. Okay, is the research mixed research method is a multi-method of research in which use both qualitative and quantitative research methods, and this will allow the researcher to answer both qualitative and quantitative questions at the same time. Okay, at simultaneously. And this method, okay, this mixed research method will provide strong evidence for the conclusion of the study because we will get data from both qualitative and quantitative methods. That's why it provides strong evidence for conclusion of the study, and it helps to answer broader range of research question. And compared to other methods, this method is difficult to perform. Okay, compared to qualitative and quantitative research method, this mixed research method is difficult to perform. Okay, and this method is time consuming process and more expensive. Okay, this is about mixed research methods. This is about identification of suitable methodology for research. I hope you understood this class. Thank you for listening.